It is the Synergenex Megatron Godzilla type. It does say Transformers on it. It says Tomy, not Takara Tomy. Megatron type Godzilla. And it says Toho Company Limited, copyright and trademark. So this is basically a crossover. They took Megatron's head, put it on Grimlock's body, and made it into Godzilla, which is kind of cool. And I'm going to break this out, go through it bit by bit. Obviously, we're very familiar with this mold because we got a bunch of Grimlocks, but it's still cool. Now, before I go any further, I do want to thank Toy Hacks for sponsoring this video. Very awesome. You should check them out. They have stickers that you can put on your G1s. They have stickers that you can put on the latest figures that have come out to make them better, and other lines too. So you should got Star Wars. They can do that too. Plus, they have some weapons. They have some backdrops. Really cool stuff for displaying your figures. But we're going to get into this Megatron. I am Megatron, leader of the Decepticons, and now I'm a big radioactive lizard. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Captain Kyle. Welcome aboard. If you've been watching for a while, thanks so much for coming back. That's very cool. And we're going to have some fun with Godzilla. Go, go, Godzilla. Be right back. All right, so I do want to show the box a bit. You can see it's got Megatron's Dino mode, radioactive lizard mode on the front. You can also see on the back it shows the various modes, and it also shows him fighting against their Mechagodzilla, which is a Laser Optimus Prime repaint. Now, I did not get that because it does not look like Mechagodzilla. I mean, I guess Grimlock is the only major dinosaur, but they could have done some major remolding and made it into a Mechagodzilla and gave him an Optimus Prime head and put him in silver. That would have been cool. But they didn't do that. So I did not get the Laser Optimus Prime Mechagodzilla. If I find one, maybe at a reasonable price, I might get it. But I am happy with Megatron. So let's break him out of the box and see what we have to see. And inside there is plastic and instructions. So there he is in the plastic. Now, one thing I like about getting stuff from Takara Tomy is usually it doesn't have a lot of these snippy things, though it does have some. But also with the packaging, if you want to put it back in the box or storage because you're moving, because you are about to go bankrupt and you need the cash, you could actually take these guys and put them back in the packaging and, I mean, not sell them as new, but sell them with the packaging, which might increase your value. And I gotta snip some serious stuff. The gun, which is a Grimlock gun, is not tied down. And now that I've snipped the outer area, the blast effects are not tied down, but Godzilla himself is quite tied down. But a few snips and he is free. So I can put this back in the box just in case. And get rid of the plastic wrap off my table. And let's take a look at this Megatron Godzilla. Let's zoom in on him and give a spin on the turntable of doom. Now he's obviously based off of the Studio Series Grimlock mold, which they've made a Shattered Glass Grimlock. They've made 2 different G2 Grimlocks. They've made the comic version Grimlock. So they've used this mold quite a bit. But now he's got a different head. He's got a Megatron style head, at least the face, though it looks a little bit different. He's got these like black ears. So it's not quite the bucket head that we're used to. Similar. And when you look at it with the black, it's kind of easy to ignore those black ears and see the bucket head style face on there. And of course you can open up claws, so you have access to his hands. He does not have any type of arm cannon, just a Grimlock style gun. And I assume that he has radioactive fire breath. That's what these are for. We'll put them in like once, but probably that's it. Because again, what I've heard and some people have verified is that the softer plastic of the blast effects can actually cause damage to the harder plastic that you're attaching it to. So I'm good with not using blast effects. But all right, let's take a look at this guy. So first of all, on his chest, he has Godzilla. It actually says Godzilla, and it has some text underneath, which says Transformers. So Godzilla, Transformers. There you go. Now he's got these markings on his shoulders. They're not like Decepticon symbols. They look like they could be kind of like, well, there's hearts. Godzilla, the monster of love, kinda, I guess. And I have gone through some other Grimlocks before, but I'm still gonna go through the poseability just in case you didn't watch. But he's got the nice gold claws, he's got the gray fists, the white feet, the silver head. I mean, he looks pretty cool. I like the bit of red detailing, kinda harkens to his Megatron incarnation. We'll go with that. And I don't think the instructions are going to show me anything that I don't already know, but you never know, so I'm going to take a look. I mean, you can definitely attach the blast effects to the gun, which I don't really want to do, but I'll probably put them in his mouth in a bit. But all right, a very cool figure. Let's take a look at some poseability. Now, if you've had Grimlocks before, you know he's got extremely generous ankle tilts, like pretty much can do a split. He can split over the entire turntable of doom if he so chooses. But the real test, of course, and we can move up his wings, is full toes up Jean-Claude Van Damme, which he can do without a problem. You can even lean him forward on his hands so he doesn't flop around. And of course he can kick forward quite high. Woohoo! He can kick back pretty nicely. Side kick really high. Bends at the knee, about 90 degrees or so. And of course he swivels all the way around. And he twists at the waist all the way around. So he has got some great poseability in the lower portion of his body. Ooh, I just popped his chest out. There we go. Much better. Now his arms can go all the way around, except you got these wings back here that kind of get in the way. So if you move them out a little bit, you can finish the rotation. You can also go off to the side with his arms. He does have elbows that are more than 90 degrees, so they look kind of weird, kind of weak in the ear. And he does swivel, so swivels right below the shoulder. The fists can also twist, though, yeah, you have to put a little force into it to get them all the way around. Not a big deal. And the head, of course, can go all the way around. So he's quite poseable. If you want to pose the wings, they can go back and forth like so. You can also move them up like so, if you want. I don't know why you'd want, but it's your toy when you get it. If you get it, do what you will. There's some things you might do with it, Logan, that I don't want to know about. You'll probably tell me anyway. So a very cool looking posable figure, and he's a radioactive lizard. Well, he will be very short once we transform him. And he stands pretty much the same height as every other Grimlock. So he's like 8.5 inches, maybe 9 if you count the forearms sticking up like that. But all right, let's give him another spin on the turntable of doom. I do quite enjoy my Megatrons, and I do think he looks pretty cool. But it's time to get him into Godzilla mode. So there he is, Godzilla Megatron. He does look pretty cool. They haven't made a huge amount of changes that I can see. He does have a clear blue neck, but no real spines going down the back. He pretty much looks like a dark dinosaur. You know, he's got some scaling on his face, which we'll move it a little closer so you can see the scaling on the face. It's also on the top of the chest. There's no Autobot symbol, just a silver shield here. And of course he's got from his shoulders those little heart things and some scaling there. But there you have Megatron Godzilla. Again, looking like a dinosaur. In the land of the lost. Roar. Okay, I was a fan of that show, and I've actually moderated Will and Holly, so it's very cool. So let's give him his radiation breath. There you go. So either that or he's had way too much to drink, and he's just like, bleh, bleh. I'll never drink again, I swear. Now his gun does attach to the back, which is clever storage, but just looks a little weird to me. But I'll leave it on there. But yeah, his mouth opens and closes. His head can go up and down. Can't turn. His forearms can go out, and he can't aim when he pees. So, you know, he makes a mess. Obviously, his legs can move. Now, using the elbows, not really suggested in this mode, but it's a cool version of Megatron, and you could put him up against actual Grimlock at some point. And you can swing the tail, but it doesn't swing on its own. Woo! I can't make the Godzilla noise. I'm trying, but I don't think humans actually make it. I'll put the fire back in there though. That does look cool. But again, for storage, I do not necessarily recommend putting the soft plastic of these blast effects. I know some of you might be running and checking your blast effects that you have on some of your figures now to make sure it didn't damage them, and I hope it didn't, but I know that it has been reported, and I don't like to take a chance, so I have a lot of blast effects put away. But there you have it, the Godzilla Megatron, or the Megatron type Godzilla. And it's cool because it's the 70th anniversary of Godzilla, which kind of puts our 40-year anniversary last year to a little bit of a shame. We're 41 years at this point. Oh look, he can flame out his joints. Ow, should get that looked at. But yeah, I like it. I will put him on the shelf, and I don't know how I'm gonna fit him into any particular continuity. I'll probably just put them with all the other crossovers, the Ecto one and the Marty Bot, the time traveler. I forget what his name was, but I'll put them with all the other different crossovers and they'll just hang out together because, you know, that's what they do. But there you have them, and I will put a link in the description to wherever you can find this crazy looking version of Grimlock that's been megatrified? Megatrified. He's megatrified. I am now a dinosaur. Well, not exactly. I am going to go to Monster Island and fight King Kong. You know, that's what they should have done instead of a Mechagodzilla Laser Optimus Prime. They should have basically kind of remolded a bit a Optimus Primal and had that be Optimus King Kong type. But they probably don't have rights to King Kong, but it's still Hasbro. Think about looking into, you know, a King Kong Transformers crossover using an Optimus Primal or creating a brand new Optimus Primal, you know, that's bigger. And then we can, you know, fight. And I do like the fact that he's got, you know, the red in his mouth and, you know, very yellow teeth. I mean, I think we should both go to the dentist unless you're like, those are gold capped. So there you have it. Megatron type Godzilla. And I think he's a fun figure. And if you're having fun, by all means, feel free to subscribe. That'd be really cool. Again, a reminder, you can become one of the Toy Hunters, which is what we call our members. And you could go to our Toy Hunter only live streams. I say members only too much. The jacket people get very upset. And another big thanks to Toy Hacks for sponsoring this video. They can help you out with stickers for your G1s, for your Combiner Wars, for your Titans Returns, for your Legacy, for your Age of the Primes, for your Power of the... Pretty much every line they have stickers for you. Plus weapons and backdrops, all kinds of neat stuff. Plus stickers from like other properties like, you know, you need some stickers for your Millennium Falcon, they might be able to hook you up. But while you are mulling over this Godzilla-style Megatron or Megatron-type Godzilla, also check out this video over here, which is a different Megatron from Transformers 1. A little more traditional, though we changed it to a tank, not a gun. And we will see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting.